Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are here with another banger, and this will be a top-down analysis strategy, and is obviously, as usual, nothing like what you have seen before on YouTube. It is special, and stuff like this is what is given as premium content. Premium what content? But I'm giving you all for free because I care. So yeah, it's a top-down analysis where we are starting from the 4-hour time frame down to the 15 minutes time frame. So on this particular video, we'll just be focusing on a bearish example, and without wasting much of your time, let's get into the video. So the first thing we are looking at is a 4-hour bullish candle, a candle on the 4-hour that closed bullish. So the moment we have a candle that closed bullish, what we do, we mark the high and the low of that candle. So we mark okay, this is the first one here. We mark this one. We are using the current markets. I don't want to go back. You can go back and backtest this yourself, but let's just use this current market here. So I marked the high and the low of a bullish candle. So what we want to do, we want to see price sweep the high of that bullish candle, and once we see price weak it like this, once we see price start weakening it, what we do, we go down to the 2-hour time frame. I have to put a vertical line indicating the time we are trading, which is this current candle right here. So you mark this on the 4-hour time frame. This vertical line should be placed on the 4-hour time frame right here. So once we mark it like this, we go down to the 2-hour time frame. So what we want to see on the 2-hour time frame is once price sweeps that high, which is this high here, this is the high and the low of that 4-hour candle we marked, and you see at this particular time price swept the high, and the moment price did that, price displaced and created a change in the state of delivery. You see how this bearish candle right here completely displaced this bullish candle. You see how this one candle displaced this entire candle with a body. Now it did not take this low with a wick, it closed below that low with a body. The entire range of this bullish candle was closed by this bearish candle. Now sometimes you see it takes 2 candles to displace, or sometimes it takes 2 or 3 candles to displace a candle to form a change in the state of delivery. That is not valid on this particular setup. For example, if you look at this range right here, 1 2 3, it took 3 candles to displace this bearish candle. So this can be valid on another setup, but on this particular edge we are trading, it is not valid. So we are looking for only 2 candles to form the change in the state of delivery. That is when it is valid. So once we have this valid change in the state of delivery, which we have here, we have a valid change in the state of delivery. Why? Because once this candle swept this high, you see the next candle, sometimes it might take 3 candles to form this change in the state of delivery. What I mean is that we might have 2 bullish candles and we have a bearish candle. All we want to see is that the moment this candle closes, the moment we have a valid change in the state of delivery, when we go to the 4-hour time frame, we want to see a wick. We don't want to see a candle above that range in the 4-hour time frame. We want to see a wick. Once we have that wick and we see this, know that that setup is valid. Before we go on the 15 minutes time frame, there's something I'm going to clarify on this 2-hour time frame. So yeah, once we have a change in the state of delivery like this, our focus is that 2 candles that formed that change in the state of delivery. So we mark the high of the change in the state of delivery and the low. Now within this range, we want to see our fair value gap on the 15 minutes time frame within this range. Sometimes we have 3 gaps within this range. If we have 3 fair value gaps within this range, we are using the first fair value gap, not the 50%. We are using the base of the first fair value gap. And if we have two fair value gaps within that range, we are using the 50% of the second fair value gap. Let me use it from up down, the second fair value gap. And if we have just one fair value gap, we are using the 50% of that one fair value gap. So let's go back to the 15 minutes time frame. So this is the high of the change in the state of delivery range, and this is the low of the range, and we can see up to 3 fair value gaps here. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3 right here. So when we have 3 fair value gaps like this, what we do, our entry is going to be the base of the first one, not the 50%, the base like this. Base means the starting point of that gap. So we are using the base of that gap, and we are using 50%, 500 pips stop loss. We are using 500 pips stop loss, or if you are willing to risk more, you can put your stop above. And as you can see, we probably had a 1-to-1 on this trade, but the way I trade it, I'm using 500 pips stop. And as you can see on this particular trade, it was not a successful one, and we had a loss and price went in our direction. But yeah, that's how it happens sometimes. Not every setup, it doesn't work all the time, but it works most of the time, and that's what's important. So we go back to the 4-hour time frame to get another setup. We see another one here. We mark the high of the bullish candle, we mark the low, and we put our vertical line indicating the time we are trading. We go to the 2-hour time frame to look for a valid change in the state of delivery, and as you can see, we have it here. We saw our price took this high and displaced. You see how this one single candle displaced this bullish candle with a body. That is our valid change in the state of delivery. So we mark it here, confirming our change in the state of delivery. Now we mark the low of the change in the state of delivery and the high, and within this range we are looking for fair value gaps on the 15 minutes time frame. So we'll go to the 15 minutes time frame. Wow. And on the 15-minute time frame here, we can see that this is the low and high of that change in the state of delivery range, and we still have a lot of fair value gaps here. Also, we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3 up here. And like our rule says, once we have 3 fair value gap, we are using the base of the first one, right? So we go on a short position using 500 pips stop. And right here we had on 1:12 trade right here, and that was beautiful. You see how price played out perfect. Now first example, price embarrassed us and went our direction, and you can see how if we stick to the setup, we see how we multiply that loss in abundance. So yeah, we go. Let me give you all one more example and just end the video. So right here we have this one. Put a vertical line here. We mark the high and low of the bullish candle. Go to the 2-hour time frame. And right here we see how when price swept that high, another candle opened up, went higher and displaced lower, creating a change in the state of delivery right here. You see how this candle, bearish candle, closed this entire range with a body that is valid on the 2-hour time frame. Now we'll go to the 15 minutes time frame. First, let's mark the high and low. Let's mark the high and low of our displacement. High and low of our range, changing the state of delivery range. We go to the 15 minutes time frame. On the 15 minutes time frame, we are looking for a fair value gap. Remember, if there's no fair value gap, there's no setup. Now this is the high and the low of the range, and the only fair value gap we have is this one right here. We mark it. Since we have one fair value gap here, we are using the 50% of that fair value gap. So we go on a short position using 500 pips stop. And as you can see, we also have on one is over 1:12, probably that's a lot. Of course, we are not holding our position up to this moment, but hey, it was a banger trade. So you do your research, do your back testing, and see how amazing this strategy is. It's the best strategy you can get in this fucking internet on YouTube, and this is why you should subscribe, like, comment, and be a part of this family where we have legit and beautiful strategies to share. These strategies could literally give you that thing you want from a strategy. Yeah. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like and comment and tell me how your first trade went using this strategy. See you guys in the next video.